Hello friend, how is it going? Welcome back to Toyota Maintenance YouTube channel. We have back relatively new customer. This is 2009 Toyota Tacoma two-wheel drive and it has approximately 225,000 miles on the clock. I did a detailed inspection of this truck a week ago. And one of the highlights, and owner knew about it, he was like, I think the wheel bearing is bad. He was right, look at this one. It's not a ball joint, it's not anything else. It's definitely bad wheel bearing, it has to be replaced. Also the other one on the passenger side starts having little wiggle, but this one is really bad. So let's go and take care of it. The wheel is off, so I will continue with removing the caliper. I will remove the 12mm bolt, which is here. I put the socket already on it to free that line. And the caliper has two 17mm bolts. Again, I put a socket there so you can see it. From my videos, you know I always preach to you. Never hang the caliper nut, especially so heavy one, on its lines. Always have to have designated hanger and it's nicely put away on the side. Most of the time the rotor it's rusted to the hub and it doesn't come off. You might be tempted to take a huge sledgehammer and start whacking it from the back, but you might damage it. So we will use this supply two holes to pull it or push it away from the hub. I reviewed these on this channel. We made video about that. It's for the rotors. Mainly you use it on the rear drums, which are almost always stuck. It's a 12mm socket on these ones. And I need to start screwing it in. Normally you can hear the audible pop, so let's see. I think it already gave. Yep, and the rotor is free. And this is what you will see after you have removed that rotor. So you saw those four large bolts, they are 17mm, and I will start loosening them using this aviation large wrench. It perfectly fits there. I also made a review on these wrenches. Look how easy it is with it. And I review it on this channel, so if you are ever interested in good tools, look it up. There were the sources, where to buy it, how much it is, and so I absolutely highly recommend those. I wish I had these from beginning. And I still, this one has so much play, I still can hear it and feel it, listen. It's dry and it developed that play. So I continue with backing off these 17mm large bolts. And now this is that huge advantage being in the California. Normally this might be rusted into that knuckle, and that rust basically creates like a glue effect. The parts are glued together. So you might need a puller, slide hammer or something, but look at this. This entire assembly is already slowly coming off. I'm so lucky. I realized that, and I know it's way easier many times range in California than on the East Coast. I'm fully aware of it. Let's see if I loosen those bolts enough, and if I'm so strong and lucky to get it out even by the hand without bringing the hammer. Who needs a slide hammer when you are strong like Peter? Let me show you. I will rip it off with a bare hands. I'm pretty sure I can. I hope I can impress you with incredible strength, but it's a little bit tight fit. Maybe I need a little tapping with the hammer. You just basically need to wiggle it out and that hammer will help. See that? Yep, just a little tapping and that's all what it needed. Look at it, that whole hub assembly with the failed bearing, it's all out. Here I will show you another detailed view of this area. So you have tie rod end for steering. Here is the ABS speed sensor, which you will see inside right here, which is reading the speed of the wheel. Lower ball joint, it wasn't it. It was an upper ball joint or bushings on upper arms or bushings on the lower arms. That was really the failed wheel bearing. Despite the fact we don't see any water here coming in the bearing and destroying it, this was correct decision to replace it. So now you can see how it looks, how simple it is when you are dealing with the two-wheel drive vehicle. Here you can see the whole assembly as you can purchase it on the bench. So there is that play, I can feel it. Oh, yeah. Anyway, this is that hub. It has a dust cap because it's not four-wheel drive, so it's closed. Here, this ring, it's for that ABS. I believe it's a magnetic ring. There is also this rubber O-ring, which should come with the new unit. That was stopping any dust, dirt, water, moisture coming in. So this is the old part. Let's look on the new part. And if you like your life easy, if you like to do and make your life easy, you will love this brand new hub assembly. If you look at it, it's actually missing nothing. You don't have to even transfer this magnetic ring for the ABS sensor. It's already there. And even that large rubber O-ring, dust O-ring, is included right here. So I guess the only part I need to transfer is that dust cap on the other side. Here we go and transfer it on the new hub assembly. We'll go gentle on it. By the way, this bolt is from the upper control arm from Tacomas. Very expensive if you're buying it as a retail. I saved one from some job in the past. Liking things perfect, I will go and put a very tiny amount of anti-seize so there will be never rust. I have thoroughly and carefully cleaned this entire area, careful around that speed sensor. I'm ready to install the new hub assembly. In this moment, don't forget that something fell on the ground when we removed the old one. Yeah, you are right. Here is that protective cover. It's basically dust shield, correct? And you don't want to forget about this one. So this is it right now. I'm carefully bringing this whole assembly, and it nicely went in, and I just start putting those 17 millimeters in. I caught one. I will start torquing those large bolts in crisscross fashion. They need to be really snug and tight. I don't know the torque, and it doesn't really matter because you cannot get a torque wrench in the socket in this space. So definitely tight, nobody wants these get loose. And we can already see that we did the correct diagnosis. It was the bearing. There's no play anymore and no noise. I always like to put very small amount of anti-seize where the rotor was glued or rusted to the hub. That's where it was. On that beautiful new hub, we are not going slap rusted brake rotor. You agree, right? So I will use my little friend Milwaukee, take it outside because there's a lot of dust coming off it, and get rid of that rust. It's not brand new, but I did it from outside and inside. It looks way better on this brand new hub. And you see it's not getting stuck, the rust is not holding it on. It nicely keeps falling off. I will continue with that brake caliper, which was nicely hanging. So carefully put those brake pads back on the rotor and install these large 17 millimeter bolts gradually, nicely, with a half drive large ratchet. These definitely need to be tight. You don't want to forget here that 12 millimeter bolt on that brake line holder. So this is also perfectly installed. And I will continue putting more anti-seize right here. I'm using just small amounts, but in the future it guarantees to me these parts will be not rusted together. And as you can imagine, nobody ever cleaned the rust buildup on the rim. It's an aluminum rim, so I will use the same tool. Very carefully I will remove that rust using this abrasive material. Once again, there's a lot of dust coming off it, so I will do it outside. And I feel much better having these surfaces cleaned, the ones which will touch the hub. It's all clean. Basically they will touch the rotor, sorry. It's all nice and clean and I feel way better about it. So, two-wheel drive tires and rims are pretty light. It's pretty cool. So I have it on. Start putting the lug nuts. In this stage I'm using torque stick to limit the torque on those lug nuts. And only after the wheel will be on the ground, I will be used that large torque wrench and torque those lug nuts to 120 Newton meters. And let's see how good job and good diagnostic it was. Are we going to hear any popping, knocking, rattling? Look at it. Brand new wheel bearing. It's absolutely no play. There's no excessive noise as we heard it grinding before. This is success. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and be subscribed. I have way more coming your way soon. See you later, my friend. My wife made me yesterday your favorite Sauerkraut. Ja, jawohl, sehr gut. I should be able to remove it by the hand, not tapping like on the other side. Give me absolute incredible powers, don't you think? It's so healthy. It doesn't want to go either. Yep, it's the tolerances, those very little tolerances. I'm not pulling it perfectly straight and I'm stuck again. Shoot, I wanted to show you how that sauerkraut is powerful. It's stuck. It needs tapping. And unfortunately, it needed tapping. I cannot impress you with my superpowers. I will try next time.